Hello everybody, my name is Gavin Small and I am the director of Hastan Estate, right there. I'm going to tell the story of the Hastan Estate and make you get the entire picture fully of what this short film means. There are different layers to this. There are two different layers. So we're going to start with the first layer, which is the book. It starts off with a man named Eugene, and he is a carpenter back in 1909. He lost his wife to the fire of the Hastan Estate that took place in 1909 due to a kitchen fire, and her name was Sadie. This made him scared and sad and depressed, and he was starting to go crazy. A couple months went by with no contact with anybody, and he gets a knock on the door. He opens the door, and a man is on the other side, and he tells him that he's here on behalf of Eugene's father. He says that his father wants to repair the Hastan Estate and is questioning Eugene to see if Eugene would mind helping out. Eugene accepts the quest and he goes to help. It's about a month later and he goes inside and all the memories are flooding in from everything that happened there and all the memories he had of going there. A couple hours go by and he's cleaning up and kind of grabbing things that have just been sitting around. Once he gets to the third floor, he hears a crash coming from the second kitchen in the estate. Cautious of it, whether it's an intruder or an animal, a cat of some sorts, he walks in with caution. And he calls out, he says, "Hello, is there anyone there?" And a man bursts out of the pantry with an axe, chasing him through the hallways. Eugene runs into one of the rooms and hides in one of the closets. Scared for his life, he holds his breath, puts his knees up to his chest and wraps his arms around his legs in fear and grabs the door, making sure that anything on the other side would not be able to get in. The man with the axe slowly walks into the room as you can hear his foot creaks. He stands in front of the door and calls out. Eugene, smart enough not to answer, stays silent. The killer turns around and walks to the nearest chair, positioned across the room from the closet, and he waits. Eugene finally gets the courage to stand up and grab a knife and burst out of the closet to attack the killer. But once he gets to the chair, he stabs nothing but the chair. The killer's gone. Eugene starts to question everything. If he's going insane, if everything is just a dream. He runs down to the other guys fixing up the place and he tells them what he has just witnessed, and they don't believe him. They laugh at him. They tell him to get a grip. He's then put in a psych ward in a mental hospital for his mental problems. No one believed him. They all thought he was crazy. And he died in 1963, and he's considered the ghost of the Hastan Estate. We're gonna go to the second layer. What is actually taking place in the video that you're witnessing? A man is walking through his house, and he stumbles across a book with no label, nothing, just a blank book that starts with chapter 1. So he picks it up, and he starts reading. This isn't a published book, it's not out anywhere. It looks like someone just printed it out and left it here for the estate itself. So as he's walking around, you get the shots of the estate, the place that he is currently at. And you can tell it's remodeled and it's redone. It looks like a whole different place. And he walks into the second kitchen on the second floor. You see him in the first one walking around. He goes to the table and then he goes upstairs where he's at the second kitchen. It's on the third floor. And he's kind of making circles and he's reading it, circles around the dining room table, and he's walking through the rooms. There are little things that kind of tie in with the ending of this. So When he's standing at that pantry and he grabs a pretzel and he eats a pretzel and he shuts it, at that same moment, it's talking about the guy in the story with the axe running out of the pantry. That exact same pantry that guy's just grabbing a snack out of. It's that second kitchen. And that guy runs out of it and he chases Eugene to the room where he hides in the closet. And my guy walks in there. And as he's walking into that room, the guy that's reading the book, he's reading that the serial killer did the same thing. And they're kind of walking in. He's following along with the story, not only reading the story, but he is walking through the story. And he stops in front of the closet and he's reading it. The killer stopped in front of the closet. But there's a knock at the window, like a rock's being thrown at it. He stops and he opens it and he says, "Hello?" And then he goes back to reading after that. And the next thing on that paper is the killer saying, "Hello?" So it's like now he's doing everything and the story's kind of following him, like it's leading up to something. And when he continues reading, he walks over and he sits down. And then as he's reading, directly after that, it says, the serial killer went to the nearest chair of the closet and sat down. So now it brings it all together that this is the exact room. I got a shot of the chair and then showing the closet in the background, that this is the exact room. I'm bringing you through the story visually so you're able to hear it and see it. And that's when he kind of stops when he gets to that, because he's kind of like, wait, is this really the room? So then he looks over to the closet and he kind of looks under the crack, because the music stops and you can hear a whisper, like a breathing coming from under the door. So he's thinking, someone's watching me. And that's when it kind of starts to get eerie and really creepy. And he kind of leans back and continues to read. And that's when it says that Eugene gets the courage to get up, grab a knife, and burst out to fight the killer. And once he does it, it stops that. He runs out of the closet, and then it kind of cuts off, because then it all happens. The ghost of Eugene runs out of the closet, and the guy is seeing this and getting freaked out. So he jumps back and drops the book. And then it goes black. And then it comes back to the guy laying down, holding the book, dead, not really. And it's finishing out that story. It's finishing out that story of Eugene going to the psych ward and people think he's crazy, and there actually not being a killer in the building, him just going crazy. And he got brought to that ward and all that. And you can see the guy reading the book, that is the modern day, the guy that got jumped by the ghost while reading. His hand starts to twitch and move as he's regaining consciousness. He didn't get killed by the ghost, he got jumped and freaked out. He got jump scared like ghosts do, and it knocked him out. He freaked out. And now he's regaining consciousness. He's waking back up. And then it ends with the end. And that is the entire thing. There's two layers. What's happening in the modern day time of someone reading the book and getting jump scared by a ghost of Eugene, and the book itself. Two different stories taking place at the same time. And that's basically the entire Hastan estate story. That's pretty much what I got for you. Hope you guys did enjoy it as much as I did making it. So thank you guys so much. Please subscribe, like, share with your friends, and yeah, peace out.